All right, we're coming to you live from my hotel room in Indianapolis. We're here for All-Star Game weekend, and there's no better way to kick off the weekend than showing you the sunny landscape outside my hotel window. I like the diversity in cranes. If you wanted a yellow one, we've got that for you. But if you were more of a red guy, we got a red crane for you too. Finally get out of the hotel room, we make it to downtown Indianapolis, and it's already popping for All-Star Game weekend, especially with snow. We get a little ice throne here, which we love, and then Larry the Legend made an icicle appearance as well. All right, here we go. We finally made it down outside the Gainbridge Fieldhouse where all the All-Star Game action is going to be taking place. It's snowing. We got a beautiful snow coming down right here. It's making my hair look grayer than it already is. But my favorite part of this entire experience so far is, well, I requested to have some hoops that I could actually dunk on. You can see here in the background, we got a little some 4-footers that I can Mac McClung. We look the same. Come on, I'm from Boston. You didn't think I was going to show Larry again? Pretty cool that the NBA decided to host this year's All-Star Game in the same place that they're doing Season 4 of True Detective, because it feels like we're in Alaska up in here. I'm sorry, I forced that True Detective joke, but the next stop on the All-Star Game weekend trip was heading over to a classic, No Dunks. For the second straight All-Star weekend, we saw No Dunks live, and it did not disappoint. Also, never expected to see No Dunks at a cabaret, but that was the sweet action we got that night. And shout out to No Dunks guys for putting on such a great show. Always a pleasure seeing them. And then we headed over to the Rising Stars game, making our first appearance in the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, as we get to see a ton of the rookies, the second-year guys, and even some G-Leaguers. You see Scoot and J-Dub squaring off right there as Jeremy Sohan's about to inbound the ball. But let me give you a little teaser of what All-Star Game weekend was like. This was the type of action we saw all weekend long. You're going to see J-Dub get the ball here. Maybe we see a little turnover. Yeah, we're definitely going to get a turnover. Then Scoot Henderson, though. At least we're going to get a Scoot Henderson highlight. Watch him rise up and dribble that right off of his leg. Good. And then the Wembanyama, the French Gumby, showed up, and we get to watch him go to work here at the top of the key. A little alley-oop to Jaime Jaquez, which was probably better than his dunking performance in the slam dunk contest, but always really cool to see Wemby play some basketball. And then, I gotta tell you, the one type of performance that showed up this entire weekend was any sort of halftime or timeout performance. Stuff was wild. People were flexible. They were just falling down poles. I don't understand physics or how this works. It was uncomfortable. Okay. Still nerve-wracking seeing it the second time. And a sexy SGA skim ad to end night one. Day 2 NBA All-Star Game weekend, and a quick shout-out to So Rare for the fit. And they knew we were from Boston, baby, with the Jason Tatum jersey. Also, they had my size, which was a children's small, and I appreciate that. All right, here we go. Who are we here with today?
I'm Aaron.
Aaron, who we got? Carl. All right, Carl. So this is for a $25 NBA gift card. You guys can decide how to divvy it up however you want. All right, so I'm going to give you 2 questions. Day 2, we were off to work, and I'm not going to show you that whole video right there. You can't get all the audio. That was us partnering up with So Rare NBA, which, if you're just learning about So Rare, check out the link in the show notes. Get your fantasy game on now. But we went from group to group trying to give away $25 NBA gift cards. Was blown away and appreciative for how many people who had no idea who we were or what we were doing were willing to get on camera and do their best to answer a few questions. And of course, we found some guys from Boston, baby, immediately. Did they get their questions right? No, they didn't. But did we give them a gift card anyways? Yes, we did, because we're good people. And of course, we made sure to get some locals. Listen, we know we're in Indiana. We pandered to our Pacers fans, okay? And don't you dare judge us. Yes, most of this content was done inside. On Saturday when we were filming everything, it was 17 degrees in Indianapolis. We need to just make a rule right now. The All-Star Game should be in Miami each and every single year. It's the only time I'll ever embrace heat culture. Then it was time to head over to Lucas Oil Stadium, the home of the Indianapolis Colts, and that is where the three-point contest, the dunk contest, the skills challenge, and honestly the most exciting part of the night, the Sabrina and Steph shootout was held, and the lines were out of control. And another huge shout out to So Rare NBA for sending Team Hole to the NBA All-Star Game weekend and giving us pretty fire seats for both Saturday and Sunday night. Look at the crowd. It is bumping up in there. Then it was time for the skills challenge. The first team up, you had the All-Stars. It was Trae Young, who looked smooth. And then it was Scotty Barnes. Well, he did not look smooth. I mean, this team was so tough. Tyrese Maxey, famously a happy person, seemed to have zero good vibes coming out of him, and I don't know if that had to do with what his teammates were bringing to the table. But don't worry, Maxey, it wasn't as bad as what we were about to see from the first overall picks. You see Paolo, you see Wemby, and you see Ant-Man, and you're like, wow, those are ballers. Those guys have that dog in them, or however you say dog in French. Well, Wemby was unclear about what the rules were off the top, although I tell you what, anytime you see a 9-footer take 3-point shots, I'm going to watch. I'm fine with that. But what we did not know is that Ant-Man was working on his left hand. He was going southpaw on us, as when it was his turn to jack up some corner threes, he said, why don't we do this lefty? That's what All-Stars do. They use their other hand. Needless to say, neither the All-Stars nor the #1 picks took down the skills challenge, but then the hometown cooking of the Indiana Pacers were up next, which included Benedict Mathurin, the second year. You got Tyrese Halliburton, the actual All-Star, and then Miles Turner, the fashion All-Star. I'll give him that. I'm only going to give you clips of Hallie because he at least was having a good time out there with his little floater. Then we get to see his weird 3-point shot, which I'm still can't believe is a thing that's happening. But more importantly, if you were curious how healthy is Tyrese Halliburton these days, well, he's thrown it off the glass to himself. And this is John and I celebrating that the skills challenge is finally over. We move to the 3-point contest. You see Karl Anthony Towns, and then Jaylen Brown gets introduced. And our boy John from Team So Rare loses his mind. Big Bone Boy was getting represented. Had to make a scene, but whatever. We appreciate the fandom. First up in the 3-point contest, we got to see that broken jumper of Tyrese Halliburton up close as we were closest to the first rack that was going up. Look at that little shot put style. It was cute. He got off to a hot start. However, Hallie, I don't know if it was the hometown pressure or what, but could not get out of the first round. But you know who got out of my first round? This in-game entertainment, okay? This bicycle stuff is out of control. I bet core strength, the upper body strength, I just was blown away. Sure, did I have a couple Michelob Ultras at that point? So maybe I was a little too impressed by the bicycle routine? Maybe, but who's to judge, okay? I'm here for it. And then it gets more impressive. We're on one wheel. You're probably thinking, Mike, I want more basketball content. You know what? I'm going to give you more bike content instead, because this was far more impressive than what we were about to see in the slam dunk contest. But before we move on to the dunk contest, it's important to get some love to the Milwaukee Bucks All-Star Damian Lillard, who won his second consecutive. He is now the defending 3-point champ 2 times as he goes back-to-back and wins it. We were even sitting close enough to see a little Dame time, little wristwatch action. Congrats to Dame. But now it was time for what ended up being the event of Saturday night. We had Sabrina Ionescu from the New York Liberty and Steph Curry from the Warriors in the Ultimate Show. And Sabrina came out on fire, knocking down every single ball in the first rack. Lucas Whitfield was electric after she knocked down the rack, but then Steph Curry came out and reminded us, well, that he is just the GOAT. The most impressive part about this contest is both Steph and Sabrina, if they participated against the rest of the field, would have finished first and second. So we need the 3-point shooters to step it up. I hope this is a tradition that the All-Stars continue to do, because again, this was truly the only cool thing that we saw Saturday night. I'm talking to you, dunk contest people. Right before the dunk contest started, it became clear that Shaq was sitting not too far away from us, but then all the dunkers also realized that as Jaime Jaquez heads over to Shaq, pulls him out, and I gotta tell you, if we're going to make one tweak for the All-Star game for the dunk contest moving forward, I think you're only allowed to jump over someone every 4 years. Treat it like the Olympics. We got to come up with some other stuff. Let's dive into some creativity. Let's stop jumping over people. Specifically, let's stop jumping over Shaq. Jumping over Shaq once in a dunk contest, maybe too much. But 2 times? But anyway, shout out our guy Jaime Jaquez. Again, hashtag heat culture, hashtag whatever you want to throw in there. Jaime gets up there, throws it down on Shaq. However, Jaquez did not make it out of the first round. Neither him nor Toppin from the New York Knicks, not Obi. We're talking about Jacob because now we got bloodlines in the dunk contest. Neither of those guys made it out of the first round because, I'm going to say it, the judges juiced the scores for my guy Jaylen Brown, and you know what? I'm here for it because I want actual All-Stars dunking in the dunk contest. We had a rookie from the Heat, Jaime Jaquez, whatever, I'll take it. Jacob Toppin, not even the best Toppin in his family. There's Jaime throwing it down. And then we had Mac McClung, who's not in the NBA, and then Jaylen Brown. All I'm saying is, get all-stars in the dunk contest. Okay, for real though, the New York Knicks Bing Bong Boys, Jacob Toppin got robbed. He should have got out the first round. That was an impressive first dunk, although again, he did jump over someone. We got to stop that. And then Jaylen Brown came out here with a little tribute to Dominique, and honestly, I thought this dunk was fine. Not everybody loved it. We got booed. Jaylen Brown got straight up booed in Lucasfilm, and I get it. You wanted somebody else to come through. Nobody really likes Jaylen because he can't dribble with his left hand. This is a dunk contest. You don't need your left hand. But then the showstopper himself, the defending champ, Mac McClung, came out, and for the second year in a row, his first dunk needed a replay before everyone could truly appreciate what happened. As the rest of the arena saw that he did a little ball tap in the air, we were really impressed. And then there it is, the finals, the dunk that gets him the chip. Him and Dame, both back-to-back champs for another All-Star Game weekend. Hopefully next time Mac McClung's in the dunk contest, well, that maybe he's actually on an NBA team and not just cooking up the G League. I did want to show this as Tatum came out and Jaylen Brown came over and jumped over Kai Cenat. Yeah, listen, this didn't work out well. It was cool while everybody was setting up, and then, you know what happened. Part of me wants to edit this out, not to hurt my boy Jaylen, but we're going to look at it. We're going to look at Tatum's toss. Feels like Tatum did him dirty a little bit here as Jaylen, and then he's going to stretch out. Yeah, dude. That's the problem, JB. Stretch out a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. Bend down, touch your toes. I'm sure this is why it's not going to go down, because you weren't stretched properly. But you know what, Jaylen Brown? At least you're an all-star, not like the rest of the guys in this contest. So hold your head up high. And on day 3 in Indy, my last full day out there, I head over to Foot Locker because Ant Edwards had a little pop-up activation happening over there, and it honestly was pretty cool. The colors were insane. They had so many people in and out of there. There was a DJ vibing. They had incredible All-Star Game merch as well. They also had this little Puma bodega thing. As you can see, there was some Curry NBA Jam style games. They had a little bit of everything going on over there, and the place was enormous. I then made my way over to where some of the clinic kicks were at, and then I tried to artistically showcase what kind of sneakers we had going on. But I'll be honest, I'm not really a sneakerhead. So if you are, weigh in the comments on 1, how you feel about these kicks, and 2, how do you feel about the artistic choice I made as I weaved in and out? Oh my gosh. Look at Christopher Nolan, eat your heart out. We finished up our time over with the kicks. We made our way through the rest of the Foot Locker activation. Found a pretty cool court over there as well. However, I was running solo, okay? So I didn't have anyone to film. So I need to get you that sweet content, so I'm sorry I didn't get any shots up. Unfortunately, I got my guy throwing up some bricks, building the house over here. But you know what? A lot of eyeballs on him, a lot of people watching, high pressure intensity, okay? It's not his fault. Sometimes the lights get bright. Shout out Jared Allen. We made our way back outside, checked out the All-Star section one more time at the center of town, then head over to Gainbridge, again shooting some sweet content for So Rare, little Instagram takeover. Thanks for making that happen. The All-Star Game finally arrived. We make our way inside. We get a little selfie in here, and then I want to shout out our behind-the-scenes lights crew, those 2 strangers behind us, getting some light for us. And then this was the most defense we saw in the entire All-Star Game right here, was during this layup line. And then inexplicably, let's ride, Russell Wilson getting interviewed courtside. Can't imagine he was helping anybody out, but okay, thanks Russ, let's ride. I know a lot of the discourse around the NBA All-Star Game weekend was pretty negative since there was no defense, 1 billion points were scored, everybody in the media seemed upset about everything. I gotta tell you, I understand some of the criticism, but what a real cool experience to be out there seeing some of the league's best in a fun environment. Indianapolis was a great host city, even though it was -5 degrees the entire time. And we saw our boy Jason Tatum, not get a bucket, it was a brick. And then we finished up the night with a little bit more So Rare content, but finished up the entire trip with Wolf Blitzer in the airport. And that's it. We're finally back home in New York after a few days in Indianapolis, and you can see those deep, dark circles under our eyes. Your boy is tired. Thanks for watching this content. Hopefully you come along with us for our next journey. Do me a favor, smash that subscribe if you haven't had a chance to yet. We out.